Welcome here to the Bowls Auckland Champion of Champions weekend. We're watching the first end of the final of the men's Champion of Champion fours. I'm Brett O'Reilly, and with me in the commentary position today is world champion and Matt Black's representative, Terry Blackburn. And in this final, and an intriguing game it's sure to be, we see last year's Centre Fours winners, the Mount Albert team of Tony Grantham, Randall Watkins, Niven Grigisevic and Zoran Bartulovic, and they're playing the New Lynn Four of Adam Wishnowski, Keith Ansell, Gary Doherty and Bruce Walters. So Randall Watkins on the left in the blue hoodie. He's the number 3 for the Mount Albert team, skipped by New Zealand international teammate of Terry's, Tony Grantham, and we can see Tony's bowl on track here just slipping past. And opposite him is Keith Ansell in the beanie, and here's Adam Wishnowski, well-known Auckland player. Both he and Tony being members of the Auckland Inter-Centre team. And Terry, this should be a great final.
Yeah, we've just come off the back of a brilliant women's final. I'm expecting the same from these guys here. We've just spoken to the Royal Oak bowling team, who were defeated in the semi-finals by the Mount Albert side of Tony Grantham and team, and they said they were just simply too good. I'm sure the same was the case for Adam Wishnowski and his team as they advanced through their semi-final.
Absolutely, and I talked to Adam Blucher, who was the losing skip against Adam Wishnowski, and he said, look, they were just too accurate. They're a pretty experienced team. Adam's team won the Centre Fours in 2014, and Adam and two of his teammates and Brodie Dix won the prestigious Taranaki Fours in 2018. So they know how to play this two-bowl format. And as I said, Tony Grantham and his team won the Centre Fours last year, which some people may remember was televised. So 2 on the first end to New Lynn. Adam Wishnowski drawing the second shot with his last bowl. Very poignant day for the Mount Albert team. You'll see that they're wearing black armbands, and that's to acknowledge the sad passing of Tony Grantham's father, John, during the week. 86 years of age, had been in poor health for some time, but never an easy task. And I had a chat to Tony just in the break between the games. He's obviously still feeling, emotions are pretty raw when you go through something like that. He and his dad were very close, as you commented on earlier, Terry, when we were talking about it. And so special meaning for the Mount Albert team, and I think Tony's also poised on 4 Bowls Auckland titles. He said he's got a couple of singles, the Centre Fours and an interclub title. So if the interclub counts, that means he's on the verge of a gold star. But this won't be easy. Good second bowl there from Zoran Bartulovic, Tony Grantham's lead. This New Lynn Four, certainly not as credentialed as the Mount Albert equivalents, but they're a really good unit. They play very well together. Very happy team, and they'll be worthy opponents in this final. Niven Grigisevic on the mat. Grigisevic, a very famous name. Niven and his father, Nick. Originally out of the Hillsborough club, but now Mount Albert. See Nick and his wife in the crowd today, and Niven's on 3 Auckland Centre titles. He's been a top line player for both Auckland and North Harbour over the years. I think he also may have even featured in Eastbourne at one stage down in their interclub team, if my memory serves me correct. So it's Mount Albert holding 3 here. The second for New Lynn is Gary Doherty, and he just sits on that bowl of Grigisevic's for third shot. So Yeah, so we couldn't ask for two better teams to be commentating on in this Champion of Champion men's final. Um, we're under the hood at the Palace here at Royal Oak, and I'm just really looking forward to another good game. If it's anything like the women's game, we're in for a treat.
Yeah, we saw plenty of action in the women's final, right down to the last bowls of that final end. Certainly a lot of drama happening there.
Keith Ansell with his first bowl on the second of 15 ends in the final. Very steady player, probably a bit underrated in Auckland, and just sliding through there. So still two to Mount Albert. So yeah, well, it was just a great game, and congratulations again to the Bridge Park four of Aggie Motu, Leslie McClendon, Andrea Wilson, and Philly Akaruru, who just narrowly prevailed over Carlton Cornwall's Linda Ralph, Judy Wong, Jo Cheng, and Lisa Appleyard. I think Leslie McClendon said to me just after the final, she said, it's one of those games we were starting to wonder whether we could ever win, because we just, we felt like we were going better, but they just kept hanging in and getting one in there. But anyway, they did prevail, albeit in a very dramatic fashion, thanks to Aggie Motu and an amazing bowl to take out the shot bowl to win. And here, right on cue, Keith Ansell draws the shot. So that's 1-2 the Newland team, leading 2-0 after the first end of this game.
Certainly some really effective bowls already in those early stages of the final.
Tony Grantham, of course, one of your teammates in the Blackjacks, Terry. What do you expect to see from Tony today?
Magic. No, I guess in that wider squad or in the Blackjack squad, he's typically in a lead position. So
Yep.
admittedly, I've only really seen him down the order. I certainly know he's capable of all of the positions. But yeah, he's certainly a magic lead up front, very consistent. That's why he is where he is. But yeah, certainly excited to see what he can bring to the skip position in this game.
Yeah, he's really become the Rowan Bressie of his era for New Zealand. He's always been a very good leader. I remember when he first started and I'd started playing in North Harbour, and he's always been very good. But he's won a New Zealand Peers title, skipping Mike Nagy a few years ago now, and likes to mix up the leading with a bit of skipping. I think it keeps you a little bit fresh, and make sure you can keep your shot play, which you need for singles. So Adam Wishnowski just trying to add another shot, just a little narrow and heavy. So 1-2 Mount Albert, and Tony, a very considered player. And one of the things I like about him, and why I liken him to Rowan, is he always plays with very deliberate weight. You see a lot of players and bowls that will, play with let's say more weight than is sometimes needed. But Tony, very very considered sort of player, and plays with very deliberate weight, and and he's he'll be looking to reach, I think, down on the forehand here with a little bit of weight, looking to sit out that shot bowl. Yeah, it's on a pretty good line.
Yeah, he's not far away here.
Here goes Jack.
Well,
that's a kill, and we'll likely see a number of those in this game. And in contrast to Tony, and no less effective, Adam Wishnowski would have one of the faster drives in the game. I don't know how much of it we'll see today, but he's a very accurate driver, and hence they've done very well. But equally a very very good draw player. Probably a bit underrated. Playing out of Newland. Not as strong as some other clubs. But he's been recognised through rep selection as Bruce Walters kicks us off for this replay of the second end. So in fours is such a game, as we saw with the women's final, that really it's how you combine on the day and in the game that matters.
yeah, consistency certainly counts for a lot, but so does timing of the good shots played, and that was sort of the battle between the two teams, I feel, from the women's final.
Absolutely. Zoran Bartulovic, his first bowl of the second end. Zoran, I'm not sure if he's still a junior, but he certainly hasn't been playing the game for a long time. But very accurate and right on cue. He demonstrates that with his first bowl.
Yeah, great start. Bruce considered changing hands, but no need. He stays on the forehand. If he makes contact, he's not too far away.
He's played this well. Yeah.
Yep, brilliant.
Good
One, two, 2.5 rolls. Zoran changing hands now.
Good crowd in here at Royal Oak. Magnificent facility, both out here on the green and in the clubhouse. And congratulations to the team in the kitchen who have kept us well fed. Terry and I managed to fit a burger in between finals, and it was very nice. So thank you to the team who are looking after us and the spectators so well.
Certainly great facilities here at Royal Oak Bowling Club, and I've never been disappointed with the food here, that's for sure.
And the bowls has been up to that standard as well, as I'm sure we're going to see in this final this afternoon. Can I just acknowledge the sponsors that help make all this happen? The Blue Waters Community Trust, those expert financial advisors at Jardine, Hunter Bowls, of course, where you can find all the bowling equipment and weapons of war, as I call them, for the game, and importantly, the team from Molchek who keep us safe and make sure we're keeping out of the sun, and if we're not, they get onto it early. And as someone who's been playing bowls for a long time, I've had a fair few of those things cut out of my face, so good reason to wear a hat and sunscreen. But even with that, and I've always been pretty careful about it, you can find yourself in a bit of strife. So
yeah, so super important in general, but particularly in the sport that we play.
Which is a good reason why more and more bowling clubs are having covered indoor greens. Niven picks up the jack. I see a slight shudder from Tony Grantham, but it all worked out okay.
Yeah, they were sitting pretty good as it was, but at least he followed through with the jack.
Yep.
Certainly changes how the end was going to track.
So Keith Ansell now with his first. It isn't warm here, but you can see the number of the players are playing in shorts, so they're braving the cold, and Keith Ansell just slips by, looking to sort of play and see if he can turn that bowl of Niven Grigicevic's out. I think they've got a couple of seconds there. So he did well to trail the jack and retain the shot as Randall Watkins plays his bowl. Randall, up until recently, also played in North Harbour and is former president of the Birkenhead Club, where Tony Grantham has also played, and Tony started in the North Harbour centre, which is where I first came across him. And so Randall, like Tony, has played into centre for North Harbour. In fact, I played for him in a centre team that force team that he skipped a few years ago. He's pretty steady at three, and he and Tony have played a lot together and won a lot together. So Keith Ansell again reaching down. Wow. Well, he got the bowl onto the jack. The bowl wasn't a toucher, so it comes out of the ditch. So it's
yeah, might be holding shot, but it is quite a distance.
Yeah, we'll get a different view of that in a second. But yeah, definitely looks like one to the New Lynn team. And as Randall comes down on his backhand, and I don't think he's going to have the weight. In fact, that was where the jack was originally, and so let's call it a measure at this stage for shot.
I do think I saw Adam signalling one to them.
Okay, so it's probably that black and white bowl of Niven Grigesiewicz that previously had the shot. Can't see it quite in our view at the moment, but there we go. So that black and white bowl you can see at the back on the right, potentially the shot, but let's see what the skips do here as Adam Wisnowski plays his bowl, and he's on a pretty good track here. Is it going to stay up? It is, yep.
Yeah, that's a great opening bowl from Adam.
So the jack is just by where you can see that red and white marker. Tony Grantham now with his first bowl. Little kick on the mat.
Might suggest that it's a
little bit
touch heavy.
Yeah, a little bit quick. And yep, good call, Terry, as it motors into the ditch. So you can just see that the yellow top of the jack just on the, for those keen-eyed viewers, but it is by that red and white marker. Don't be surprised if Adam doesn't draw another shot here. He's a very accurate draw player.
Yeah,
maybe
looks
a little
promising.
heavy. Yep, and nothing wrong with that. You know, you've got the shot. There's no point being short.
Yeah, that's it.
So Tony Grantham drawing again. I thought he might have had a run for the bowl, so maybe they are two down. Anyway, let's see where he goes. He's on a tighter line.
His speed is a lot better though, isn't it?
Yep.
A good second,
Yep.
possibly.
Stayed up for second shot. So one it is to Newland, and they're out to a 3-0 lead after 2 of the 15 ends. And again, a little like the previous final, ends of fluctuating fortunes.
Yeah, that's it. The jack has moved around a few times already. Obviously, the initial second end was killed. That was a replayed end.
And I've just got a little update. We've been getting some scores through from the Bowls North Harbour Champion of Champion Fours, which are also on this weekend being played at the Mairangi Bay Bowling Club. And I can report that Riverhead were the winners in the men's Champion of Champion Fours. That team skipped by Steve Cox. And they beat Leon Wesh's team from Mairangi Bay. I don't have a final score in the women's Champion of Champion Fours, which is being played between Keiko Kurihara's Takapuna team and Judy Farcash from Mairangi Bay. So we'll keep you updated if we get scores on there. And in the meantime, here's a good opening bowl by Zoran Batulovic.
Yep, quickly settling into his work here in the Auckland Champion of Champion Fours final.
And now Bruce Walters, that generally suggests that you're going to be short. So let's see where he is, and he is. So early advantage here to Mount Albert, but as we've seen so far, no guarantee that that's going to be the end result when the end finishes. Zoran again.
In the area.
Yeah, he's played this well. If he stays up, he'll be pretty happy with that. No, just drops in. So, 1 to Mount Albert.
Got a few Mount Albert supporters in the background there, supporting their clubmates.
Yeah, it's been great to see the revitalisation of that club. They're in an area where I think with an ageing population, the membership dropped off, but a number of people have got in behind that club. Daniel King, who I saw in the clubhouse, has been one of the people involved, along with a number of others in revitalising the club. They're one of the few clubs that have got an international size natural surface green.
Oh
there,
wow.
and so yeah, it's a nice club, a really good facility. So it's good to see that membership is starting to grow in both the men's and the women's section, and obviously they have had some success from their from the women's section as well as the men, and as hopefully as more apartments go up in that Mount Albert area, we'll start to see their membership grow from locals. So two at this stage it is to Mount Albert as Niven Gregicevic plays his second bowl.
Wasn't too happy with the initial release.
He just slides by, but that's probably a good spot there, just in behind. Gives him a catcher. Tony Grantham gives him a polite clap. As Keith Ansell plays his first bowl on this third end.
Looks under.
Yeah, just slide under again. Pretty no nonsense team, the Newland guys. They'll definitely talk when they need to, but by and large they just play the game and get on with it. Randall Watkins now with his first, and he's on a pretty good line here. Going to be very close. Yep, that'll be another shot. So that's 3 now to Mount Albert, and Keith Ansell.
Yep, one each from the Mount Albert front. It's not an easy route to the jack either.
No, I think we'll expect to see some attack here.
Yep. Don't need to muck around with it.
No, and
He's close. Excellent. The bowl has followed it in. Where did the jack go?
So Tony says the jack's close to the number, so it's at least 1 to Mount Albert. It'd be a measure between the white bowl and the black and white bowl for the second shot. Tony just saying, look, play down there. So it's obviously going to be pretty hard to beat the bowl in the ditch, so it'll now be a race to see who can get second shot or more.
Yeah, that's it. It's a good position for Mount Albert Bowling Club to be in.
So Randall sneaks between bowls here. Does he stay up? Oh, just drops in. Good effort.
Was a good bowl by Keith. They were 3 down initially, and if he'd got it slightly off centre, that bowl wouldn't have followed the jack in so closely.
And because Adam's such a good draw player, it's a good strategy to try and open the head up when you can, to give him the chance of drawing those shots. I've watched a lot of his bowls, and I was an Auckland selector some years ago when he'd just, I think, come out of juniors, and he just amazed me. His ability to draw really tight shots. So it's good to see him, doing well again in this event, and very unassuming player, but has some really great ability. Tony having a good look here. Yeah, he'll try and come down on his forehand side, I think. What do you think, Terry?
Yeah, I think that last bowl has probably pushed him out too wide on the backhand, so certainly more of a future on the forehand.
I think they were contemplating whether he might play that bowl through.
Oh yeah, they are still looking at that.
Because they probably have third and fourth shot, I think. But anyway, let's see. Tony's such a good draw player. You'd back him to add another shot in there. It probably just depends how confident he's feeling. It's been a big week with losing his dad, but he certainly played some great bowls in the semi-final against Danny Delaney, and we were talking to that team in the break, and I mean they said Tony had played a couple of screamers to really win that game. So just on the high side and a bit quick. So we might see him to use that weight in a different way next up. But let's see what Adam does in the meantime, because he's got every chance of drawing another second here. I don't think he can get the shot, but let's see. And he's on a pretty good line here.
Yeah, might need a little wriggle. That would have helped. Good second.
Yep.
And so now I would imagine Tony would be looking at the draw.
Yep. No suggestion of anything else. Oh, looks like someone might have moved just as he played, I think. Certainly something caught his eye. Anyway, one it is. So Mount Albert are on the board. Little fortuitously, perhaps, a front toucher driven into the ditch by Keith Ansell, but if you get the bowls close, in the background there, and the tan jacket is Loz Croot, Tony's partner, and a pretty tidy player herself. She's plays out of the Birkenhead club, and she's on the board at Birkenhead, so and very involved in the game, and a great supporter of Tony's too. So Zoran Bartulovic kicks us off for the first bowl of this fourth of 15 ends. And he's close. Oh, that's great leading.
Yep, we've seen a lot of that already this game. I'm sure he will continue in that fashion.
Bruce Walters with his first bowl. He's just going to slide past.
Handy enough.
Perhaps saw a little opportunity there to play with him, maybe a little bit more weight than normal to sit the bowl or trail the jack, but finish in a good home, good position bowl, and better to be there than in front. And Zoran's played another good bowl here.
He might follow suit.
Yep, just dropped away. Good cover bowl there. 1 on, 1 over. It's an old adage for good leads. Bruce with his second bowl. Yeah, again, I think he's playing with that sort of slightly aggressive weight just to make sure he's up, and if he can get a sit or the jack. But bowls, we've seen the bowls turn quite a bit on that hand, and you do have to be precise with line. Niven now. Yeah, that's handy. Look, it's short, but I mean, it's probably in the line a bit on that side, so yep.
Yeah, I would see I'd imagine they'll change hands here, and they have.
So Gary Doherty. On a good line, but yeah, it's a long way short. He'd be disappointed with that. Can Mount Albert capitalise?
On a good path. It's down to his speed now.
Always hard to pick with the multicolour bowls, isn't it? But I think he's definitely drawn another shot. Again, still a fair bit of distance there, but the advantages with the Mount Albert team. What's the correction look like from Gary? Yeah, he's played this pretty well. Did he get round that bowl? Still didn't quite have the weight, so what do you think, Terry? Couple to Mount Albert there?
Yeah, I would say that's 2 to Mount Albert. And an opportunity to add a third one.
Yeah, Randa Watkins has played this pretty well. You'll get that late finish there, and back it comes, and that's definitely 2 shots, possibly 3.
I wonder if plan of action changes here. Bit of weight on the forehand, maybe. No. Still happy to just be looking for a bowl on the head, and that's a good call.
Yep, I think you're right, Terry. Adam just saying, look, I just need another bowl on the head. They've only got the one there. And at this stage of the game, no need to panic.
Yeah.
Keith, perhaps he did play with weight. Not driving, but and probably a lot more weight than he wanted. It stays up as the Bacchus bowl, as you can see, just behind Adam there. But advantage Mount Albert. Randall Watkins is tight here, but he may have the weight to hold up. Oh, he gets a little slide. Yeah, very nice. So, doesn't get an applause for that.
No, I wonder if Tony's concerned that it's opened up that forehand a little more.
I agree. That is a danger.
Yeah, it does look like a nice wee target, although they're sticking with the backhand.
Yeah, it surprises me a bit. I think harder to get the jack on the backhand, but he's playing very purposefully. So, and he's close. Oh, gets the shot bowl, gets the short one, but still 2 to Mount Albert, those 2 bowls of Randall Watkins. So advantage still with Tony Grantham and his team.
Yep, he cleared a couple, which takes a little bit of the pressure off, although of course Tony has the first bowl of the skips this end. I think sticking the way they've been going on that backhand would be the best course of action here.
I agree. Yeah, I think Randall looking for a bit of cover there. I think they can expect Adam to be at least probing for the shot. Pretty hard to draw it. So, Tony Grantham, or TG as he's known to many of us. Doesn't seem entirely happy with that.
Yeah, just didn't give it a chance to be effective.
No, I wonder whether he clipped his foot actually. He did say to me he's pretty tired. I mean, obviously it's been a very stressful week for him. Yeah, you can see him just looking a little stressed, and not because of the bowls. So Adam Wisnowski drawing, and yeah, that's a good bowl. Very well played. Back to 1. And just saying, draw underneath there. Moisture on his hand. Right. Stayed down nicely, and he's on a pretty good line here.
Yeah, if he can get to Adam's bowl and sit off that, that would be ideal,
well
and he's
played.
done it.
Brilliant bowl.
I imagine we'll see Adam on the forehand now.
So I like the fact that Keith Ansell's the third. He's come up to have a look, and Gary Doherty's already pointed to Adam, put it in the ditch. Yep.
Yep, they'd already agreed on that.
Right, here we go. Yeah, more of a runner from Adam. And he's close. Is
Oh,
he
he
going
might
to
need
hold
a
up?
hold. So 3.
Oh, 3, so unlucky. Got their closest bowl out. Probably was already 2 down, I think. And so handy collect for Mount Albert. And after 4 of the 15 ends, it's Tony Grantham's Mount Albert team leading Adam Wisnowski's Newland team 4-3. Terry, what's in prospect for you for next season? What's on your radar screen for bowls?
Uh, Definitely just looking at hitting the ground running, really, as far as the Waikato season goes. Yeah, internationally, there's a Trans-Tasman on early February, some potential for an international event in Hong Kong later in that year.
Yes, the World Cup, which I've had a little bit to do with, as you know, in my capacity on the World Bowls Board.
Yeah, absolutely. So it's all very exciting, and yeah, that's on the radar. But certainly looking just to enjoy the off season with a couple of kids of mine, and then looking to prep for the domestic season, and from there build into the international. But yeah, certainly some cool events on the calendar there.
Great bowl from Bruce Walters there. Now, I heard a little rumour that one of your youngsters is already looking to be a pretty tidy indoor bowler. Tell us about that.
Yeah, so interestingly, well, both my husband and I played indoor bowls from a young age. He was about 8, I was more like 10 or 11. So our plan for Lockie, who is now 11, was to start around this age. But as it happened, he started dabbling in it from a 7-year-old, naturally, with some bowling parents, I suppose.
And two very good bowling parents, because Terry is modestly omitting the fact that her husband Sean has joined the Matt Black's team as she's moved into retirement.
Temporary retirement.
Sean has joined that team, and here's Niven Grigesiewicz attacking here. Two very good bowls from Bruce Walters, and the Mount Albert team don't muck around.
Yeah, no, that's brilliant from Bruce. And I mean, you could try and add some bowls to the head and maybe fatten up the target, but if you're pretty accurate with your runners, you may as well open it up early.
Well, Niven's been a very good player for many years, and skipped enough. He's got all the shots in the locker. So I think Tony obviously taking the view, well, let's not muck around. But
look
wow.
at this from Gary.
Yeah, this Newland team are piling it on. So Tony's saying, no, go again.
And again, there's not much of a target. Not much more than a bowl. He'll know how to make the adjustments, of course.
He's close.
Yeah.
All the way.
Brilliant.
Yep. Great bowl.
Oh, it hasn't gone... I mean, it's certainly a lot better. There's no doubt about that. But for the jack to actually not go very far, it bounced off a back bowl, came forward.
Absolutely. Right, yeah, for all money, it looked like that was going to kill.
Yeah.
But it didn't, and so that's the way the game sometimes goes. So when are we going to see Lockie in competition?
Well, he's certainly been a lot more regular this year with club nights, and we've been taking along the 8-year-old son as well, who is young but also keen and shows a little bit of promise.
Fantastic.
But yes, I'll be teaming up with Lockie in Rotorua this King's birthday weekend. There's
Nice.
a singles and pairs and fours event down there, although we're not playing in the fours. So yeah, really looking forward to that. He's really looking forward to that.
Oh, great. It'll be nice to see you on the mat. For those of you not aware, Terry is one of the finest players that we've seen in indoor bowls in New Zealand, men and women, and representing New Zealand. So I'm sure it'll be a great thrill for him to play with his mum, and it'll be a thrill for some of the indoor bowlers to see you back on the mat now that you're playing outdoor a little bit more than the indoor game, or a lot more than the indoor game. Yeah,
it'll be good to see the indoor bowlers and catch up with them. Be interesting to see how I go, but no, it's been really cool watching Lockie sort of get a feel for the game and start to really enjoy it. And no, it'll be cool to team up with him. So nice. We see it so often in bowls, families playing together, and I'm excited that that's sort of the chapter that we're coming to now.
It's a great feature of our game. I think, Tony got introduced to the game, I think Tony Grantham, through his late father, John. And in my own case, it was my grandparents that really got me into the game, dragged me around bowling greens a lot when I was a young child, or toddler probably, and as soon as I could hold a bowl in my hand, I was pretty keen to start, and that for me, like Lockie, it was as an indoor bowler in my early teens, and then as soon as I was able to join, in the days when I was playing, you had to be 18 before you could become a member of certainly the club that I wanted to join. Back here in the final, it's Newland holding the shot. Keith Ansell with his second bowl drawing the shot. Yeah, but plenty of room there for two very, very good skips in Tony Grantham and Adam Wisnowski. And Tony's on a good line here.
Yeah, it's running on nicely. Might need to go a little further though.
Yeah, close. Probably didn't turn as much as Tony expected. That side of the rink is a little straighter, as we've seen earlier in the women's game. Adam, really economic delivery.
Yeah, it looked a nice line out of the hand.
He's close here. Very close here. That's a great bowl.
Yeah, spot on. Any movement's only going to Keith's bowl.
Yeah, definitely to Newland.
Will they still be?
Yeah, Randall's saying just slip down there.
Certainly a lot harder shot for Tony
again
now.
on the wide side, I think. It can't quite see with Gary in the way there, but yeah, just got caught out wide. So 2 at the moment to Newland. Adam well and truly capable of adding another one here.
Yep, it might be
Yeah, it's
a
coming
3
back
to
now.
Newland.
Coming back now. It's just breaking in. Is it going to break enough? No, just the 2. So 2 to Newland. They hit the lead in this topsy-turvy final. And as we move into playing end 6, we've had a kill.
Jack in the ditch.
Yeah, I mean, nothing really between these two teams. So far, Adam possibly just drawing a little bit more steadily than Tony, much to our surprise, though we know that Tony's playing under difficult circumstances with the recent passing of his dad, John. But, yeah, I think like the women's game earlier today, we're going to be in for a cracker.
Yeah, absolutely. Again, lots of action happening. We've seen the Jack move around a few times now. But really good bowls up front from both teams.
Yeah, and Bruce Walter's right on target here.
Yeah, he certainly set it up last end before the Jack was moved. 2 right on it. Now he's just made it a 3rd in a row.
That's great bowls, isn't it?
Excellent bowls, and Zoran's been playing really well as well. Looks interested.
Yep, just going to run out of pace, I think. But he's going to be there and thereabouts, hanging around as we say these days in the game, which is useful. Now Bruce just saying, well, do I need to change my hand? And Adam says, yeah, well, if you want to, you can change. Didn't get that one away particularly well. Bit of a bounce, but still looks like it's going to be reasonably close. Back it comes now. Yeah, that's 2 good bowls. Well played. 2 shots, I think, there. Or pretty close to 2 shots to Newland, but early days.
Gets very low in his stance.
Yep. Really, really concentrates hard. Nice follow through, which is good to see. And he's on a good line. Here's the hold for the Jack here.
Yeah, he certainly had the weight for a bit of movement there, whether it was bowl or Jack that he landed. The good news is he stayed up.
Yep. Sets it up very nicely for Niven Grigicevic and the other back-end players. And just one final update from those Bowls North Harbour events. It was the Mairangi Bay women's team who were successful in winning that event. I think I said earlier it was skipped by Judy Farkash, but I think it was actually skipped by Gay Horn, and they beat Keiko Kurihara's Takapuna team by 20 shots to 11. So Moerangi Bay win the women's champion fours in North Harbour, and Riverhead win the men's. Back here in Bowls, Auckland, it's Bridge Park who won the women's, and we're going to see these two teams battle it out to see who can secure the men's title.
Yep, the Newland team are looking pretty good so far this end, as they did last end, to be fair. Holding 3 shots at the moment, 2 very close to the jack. Niven about to play his second bowl.
Gary Doherty again out on
the
forehand side. And Niven is about to play second bowl, but
No.
after this one. And he's played a screamer here. Look at this.
Yeah, 2 crackers from Gary.
Well, you probably saw the hand come into the bottom right of the screen. That was Tony Grantham pointing to it saying hit it. And so Niven Gregicevic, he's on the run.
Tracking wide. He played a bomb last end, hit it pretty clean on a 1-bowl target. So I backed him here on that bowl.
Yeah,
Not
but
to
surprised he played it on the backhand. I thought, maybe there was a bit more on the forehand side, though. I guess, everyone has a favoured hand that they drive on.
I suppose in the scheme of things it probably doesn't really matter, but...
Not at that pace.
No, but certainly the forehand does look nicer for that nice split and follow through. Cover bowl now, potentially, for Keith.
He's played some good bowls in this final already, drawn some good shots. Played a couple of good runners, and he's on a good line here too. Breaking very nicely here. He was trying to get a back bowl, but he's actually drawn another shot, I think. So that's 5, I think.
We'll call it a temporary 5. I don't think it'll stay like that for too long.
Randall Watkins driving. He's on the forehand, and he's on its way. Well, like a dam buster. It had the pace, but definitely not the accuracy. And so... Randall muttering to himself, I'm sure he wouldn't be happy with that. So Keith Ansell swapping over to the forehand side, and I'm not quite sure why, but
Well, he might just be locking those bowls in a little bit more. They are all going to clear, aren't they, all 3 of them, if they get it right.
Well,
he didn't really change anything, but he has come into a good spot.
Yep, and possibly counted where he's sitting. So Randall again.
Yeah, he'll be looking for this to come out a bit nicer than that other one, and it has.
Yeah, more controlled weight this time.
Yeah.
On the backhand this time, and he's going to get a result. Oof. Well, look, that was a touch lucky to slice the ball across the head and move the jack.
He used Keith's bowl to go into the jack, and it's Keith's bowl that sliced it. Has opened up, but they are still a few down, aren't they?
They are, and so advantage still very much with the Newland team, and sometimes when the jack does get moved like that, it's it's certainly not a big target to play to. So I think both skips will be drawing. You'd expect Tony Grantham, player of his skill, to be able to draw a shot in there, but Adam Wisnowski's got the first opportunity to get in there and really put the pressure on. So on his backhand.
Yes, and Adam's been drawing so well so far.
Just dropped his head a little bit after he let it go, so yeah, and he's tight. So he'll be disappointed with that when they're holding. Yeah, beautiful speed. Right. TG.
Yep, I think he'll be feeling like this is a good opportunity for him to find his rhythm.
Yep. It's fraction tight here. That's a very uncharacteristic bowl from Tony.
Yeah.
And shaking his head, as he well might. So, Adam, good track, says Keith Ansell.
Yeah, it is a better line for him.
Yeah, he's close here. Very close here.
Yes, that's another shot for the Newland team.
So Newland holding at least 4 here.
Tony has his work cut out for him. Better track by the looks.
Yep, definitely got it out on a better line. Randall Watkins gets down on his haunches.
How's
Has
the
he got the
speed?
weight? Has he got the speed? No, he hasn't. Same as his, pretty much the same as his first. So here we go. How many? Out comes 1. Out comes 2, 3. I think.
Out come the measures.
Oh, a little bit of banter going on there. I think Newland were pretty certain they've got at least 4. Yeah, as I said, sometimes the jack moves and you think, look, I can get there. But he didn't, unfortunately. So here we go. 5. It is 5.
Yeah, what a collect for Newland.
Yeah, so it's so interesting, that what appeared to be a slice of good fortune for Mount Albert actually didn't work out in the same way, and it's a big advantage now for New Lynn with that 5. They lead 10-4 as we play the 7th of 15 end. Still early days in the game, but it's a nice tidy advantage for the New Lynn team to have.
Mount Albert now have the chance though of putting the jack where they'd like it. So that's a small victory in the scheme of the game.
I'm expecting they'll probably play similar length end. Yep, at the sort of 2, out towards 2 metres. I didn't quite get the jack there. I think Tony Grantham's popped inside to grab a drink or for a comfort stop. And so, but, good little conference going between Zoran and Niven and Randall before he played that. But hasn't phased Bruce Walters at all. And for the 3rd end in a row, he's on the jack.
Yeah, he's really setting the tone for the New Lynn team.
Leading very well, isn't he?
Yeah. Couldn't ask for much better.
No, I agree.
On a nice track, Zoran.
Just going to slide by, but that's a good position. Yeah, not the most orthodox delivery. Got a little bit off balance that time, and as you can see, as a result, had very good speed again, but just played narrow as he sort of stepped across his line. Zoran again, as you said earlier, Terry, gets down nice and low, nice action.
Yeah, certainly is.
Again, he's gone a little bit tight here, and knowing the way that hand plays, that'll break away a long way. Does he get a little slide?
Oh, got
No.
it too thick.
So 1 it is to New Lynn, as Gary Doherty lines up for his first
Yeah,
one.
and Gary's been playing some really nice bowls as well. He's been backing up Bruce.
Very steady, the two of them. They're going well, and he's lived right up to your recommendation. Just a little bit short this time, but again playing with good line.
Tony suggesting there's options on the forehand. Just a positive draw, I think, more than anything. Going to a good home.
Yep, beautiful line. Just a little bit quick, but finishes in a good home. So Gary again out on the backhand side. Bit more weight this time, and he's going to get his own bowl. Yeah, that's a good bowl. Not necessarily the most orthodox way of getting the shot, but very effective.
Yeah, it might have been a case of one in, one out, but it is a better one.
Yep. Niven probing down here on the forehand. Is he going to get Zoran's bowl?
Yep, not quite at the right angle though, but it has opened up that hand.
Yep, gives them a shot to play at it for sure.
Yeah, that's a good call from Adam. Staying on the backhand, looking for position.
Yep, leading 10-4, one's good fishing, and he can well expect that the Mount Albert team will be looking to play with a bit of weight. But actually, he's gone narrow here, and got Gary's other bowl up, and actually finished in quite a good spot. Tony, waves his hands in a little bit of exasperation because that's taken the shot out on the right-hander's forehand side.
Could be a frustrating game.
So Tony says, hit it. Get down there on the backhand side. Let's see what sort of result we can get. Yep, Randall with nice controlled weight.
It's going to break
Just give
in.
a break now as you get the edge of that bowl.
Yeah, the black bowl's fine.
Yeah.
Yeah, that'll do.
Well, the big Mount Albert supporters contingent, you can see them all sitting up there. The applause rings out. Adam scratches his head. Says to Keith, come on, get round here. That's where I need it. Because at the moment, Mount Albert don't have any bowls past the jack. And, New Lynn, I should say, have no bowls past the jack. So Keith being asked, get me a position bowl in. So I've got something to play to. Well, that doesn't help.
Oh, that is.
Well, that is their bowl. That is,
yep.
Yeah, indeed. That's Bruce Walter's second bowl.
Yeah, so not the cleanest of way to get a position bowl, but he got one. Don't know. Would Adam? A lot can change, of course, but Adam could come down onto that white bowl and pop out the shot bowl.
And Tony Grantham said to Randall, look, play down there with a bit of weight and just try and see if you can get around there. And he has. He's played that well. So it gives them another back bowl. So it gives them the option if they were game to try and turn that shot bowl onto the jack and back. Yeah, it's tricky here.
It is tricky. I think
Adam's only one down, and when you're leading 10-4, you don't particularly want to open the head up for your opponent.
That's true. Even if he were to execute that shot of the, popping off the shot bowl, it will open it up, and Tony's next bowl could be moving Jack back for a few more shots.
And sometimes it's not what you get, it's what you leave in this game. So possible for him to draw it off that bowl on the right hand side, but I think he's going to play the forehand. So obviously he sees a chance down there, try and turn that bowl on to the shot bowl, but he's tight. Yeah, so he's trying to come around that front bowl, just see if he can get a plant on the white bowl and pop the shot bowl out.
Yeah, it's certainly lined up nicely, and I think it is there. Probably a little bit of a fine line, just given that with the weight it can hold. So to get past that bowl, but still have the right weight for the shot, could be tricky.
Yeah, it's definitely not easy, but clearly he feels that It's a chance worth taking. Tony on his backhand side, and he's playing that shot. He's looking to turn that bowl over, should I say, onto the jack. Just slides past. Now, there's a good case of just playing with really good controlled weight. So he's given himself another catcher at the back. Now, does Adam try and get the shot, or does he cover those bowls? Now, Keith's saying, come on, cover the bowls. Only one down.
Yeah, that's a good call. As we said, even if Adam were to play that shot to perfection, they're going to be so vulnerable out the back. It's not worth it with the scoreline the way it is.
I agree. Agree entirely. I think he's played this pretty well. Presume he's going to stay up. Yep, he'll stay up. There. That's a good bowl. Because immediately that shot's now, well, it's not taken out completely, but you have to play with precise weight. And Randall having a good look here.
Yeah, they'll be considering their options.
So you can see, play with weight to that black and white bowl. And if you can, the only danger being, of course, if he doesn't play with enough weight, he could just turn it back to that bowl of Bruce's. So it's a game of fine margins. Let's see how Tony...
Yeah, it's relatively safe and certainly worth it. They have a nice pocket of bowls back there.
He's close.
Under that one.
Ooh, just gets the edge, but it's still one shot, and that's good fishing for the Mount Albert team. So one it is. 10-5 now to Adam Wisnowski's Newland team. We're playing end 8 of 15 in this Bowls Auckland Men's Champion of Champion Fours final. And the battle continues.
Yep, we're around the halfway mark now. Certainly approaching it this end. New Lynn, of course, have made the best start. And it was really just that 5 a couple of ends ago that gave them that buffer. It's been pretty even otherwise.
So Mount Albert opting for a shorter end here. Certainly shorter than they've been playing. And Zoran a little bit heavy with his first. Not a mile away. But you'd need to be a bit closer than that, the way Bruce has been leading.
Yeah, that's it. It was a good opening bowl, but Bruce has just been so good this game.
Yep, and again, pretty handy. Gets a small clap from Adam. Both leads obviously adjusting to the shorter end, and not surprising they're a little over. Let's see what Zoran does with the second one here. Yeah, I think he's made a good adjustment.
Definitely. It's coming in really nicely.
Yep, applause from the crowd and from his skip.
Straight into his work, Bruce. Close as well.
Yep, breaking now. He's going to be close, all right.
Yeah, that's great leading. Any bit of movement here for Mount Albert would be really nice.
Just going to die, I think, underneath it, and probably just didn't quite have the weight for that, but finishes in an okay spot. If the jack has moved across there, that would count. But I think, Tony looking for just a little bit more weight than that.
Yep, even if he was slightly wider and using that shot bowl.
Indeed. Gary Doherty looking to be the spoiler here. Can he move the jack in the opposite direction?
That's it.
And the answer is, well, he didn't move the jack, but he drew a back shot.
Yeah, the shot's still the same for Mount Albert. A little bit more weight this time. A couple of bowls to work with now. Any piece of the jack has a bonus.
Close here.
He's on a far better line.
Very well played here, Niven Grugicevic.
Oh, that is really stiff.
That is very stiff. You know,
A very well played bowl, and unfortunately, missing probably would have been better because now where the jack's, it's only the smallest of touches on that jack, but it's changed the angles completely, and certainly the advantages with New Lynn.
and when it's locked hard on a bowl like that, it's pretty hard to move.
Yep. Gary's first bowl there, right in behind the jack. It now negates all of Mount Albert's bowls, really, the way it sits at the moment.
Yeah, it's still possible to maybe jag the jack over there to force it over, but you're going to have to play with a bit of weight. Randall's close here. He's played this well.
He's going to get the underneath of it again.
Oh. Yes, at some point, you wonder whether they'll just play a little bit firmer, because they could even move both bowls, potentially.
Yeah, I was going to say it would probably be more worth going for the bowls now. You got to dislodge Gary's pink one.
Absolutely.
And then it would really open up that side of the head again.
Keith Ansell striving for a position bowl. And that's not bad. A little bit over. Not ideally where he'd like to get it, but I mean still in a reasonable spot. So does Randall go a little bit quicker this time?
I think so.
Yep.
Create your own luck. Create some change.
Played this well. If he holds, he's going to be very close.
Oh, he's dislodged it. That's all
Yep.
they needed, really.
Yep, that's a good result. Don't still 2 down, but he's given Tony a really good chance now, and they've got all of the bowls on that side of the head. So, with the exception of the very backest bowl, which is Keith Ansell's first bowl. So, what can Keith do with this bowl? Really important now that the Newland team get a bowl amongst those.
It's amazing the difference that made having that bowl sit over one time. I think Tony would probably approach this head with a bit more hope now.
Now, I think the question in Tony's mind will be, do I go with precise weight for the jack movement?
Or is he just going to
do I
go
quick?
bowl?
Yep.
Yeah.
And look for both bowls, and he's got chance of the jack going clean back. I guess it could bounce around to get there, but probably come down to how he's feeling, his confidence levels. He's certainly well and truly capable of playing the precise shot, but let's see.
Precise shot would be tempting, but at the end of the day, the bowler's the bigger target.
Yeah, no, he's playing with that precise shot, and he's close. He's very close here.
Oh, they were excited.
Does he hold? Does he hold? Yes, he does.
Oh, not quite the angle, but certainly a very good bowl. And that'll be enough. How many are they holding, do you think?
We've got that white bowl of Newlands just out to the left. We'll get a different angle on it in the moment from the team. Look.
Even Keith's bowl looks to be in play there.
Yep.
Maybe
two.
Two. I'd say definitely two, possibly a third. I think if Tony was just a touch wider, it would have really tucked it in nicely to their head of Mount Albert bowls.
But at the moment they're scoring, and that's a good result. Now, what will Adam play here? He may look to play a similar sort of weight. A little bit quicker.
Yeah, he's got a nice split shot, really.
Oh.
Even just the shot bowl itself. There's another Mount Albert bowl coming in.
So 1 in, 1 out. No, I think he said we're only 1 down.
Well, there's certainly a lot of Mount Albert bowls on the forehand. That could be promoted depending on how he wants to play this.
Bowl just sat down at the back.
Yeah.
So what are they looking at here? Maybe see if they can play underneath to sit the white bowl out. Do you think, Terry? Is that shot on
Possibly.
there?
It depends on how many Newland shots are sort of around.
Because they have got both of their bowls on the way in with the Niven Gregicevic bowl. I think though one of those bowls actually is now Adams. I'd forgotten that. So
I do think Keith's sort of purpley maroon bowl out on the wing is closer than we think.
so he's just trying to get him to draw.
Yeah.
See if he can draw underneath there.
Yeah, I think he can draw underneath there. If he happens to run into the Mount Albert bowls, they've got a result there.
Very true. Right. Played a screamer with his first bowl.
Yeah,
So
absolutely.
TG with the second. Such a nice action. Gets his bowl away well.
There's a lot of room there for him, although
Here he comes.
needs to dive. Dive quickly. Might come in around it.
Well, yeah, no, I think that's another shot. That's
Yep.
a good bowl. Beautiful weight.
Yep.
Really, really good weight. And,
Now, what's Adam's best shot here?
yeah.
Looking for some movement.
Yep, so come down there. Bowls to connect to. He's got bowls to turn up, and he's got a potential jack movement as well. So he's just asked Keith, just tell me how many down I am. Finger measure being deployed. I didn't catch how many, but I'm going to guess it's at least 2, maybe 3.
Yeah.
So they're getting him to play a positive shot. And Adam tends to play these bowls very well. Right, I've just put the commentator's curse on him.
No, I think he's close. Little edge, only a little one. Oh, just a touch too thick. A little one would have seen him straighten onto the jack.
Indeed. And that could have been disastrous for Mount Albert. So
maybe 2.
yeah, because we've got Keith's bowl over there. So that's obviously the closest bowl.
Yeah.
Well spotted Terry earlier. So 1 there, 2. So 2 to Mount Albert. Not as many as they would have liked, but that's still good fishing when you're behind. You want to keep scoring. So 10 closes it up to 10-7 after 8 of the 15 ends. We're halfway, and as you said earlier, Terry, take out the 5 and there's nothing in this game. And again, some really good ends with that nice mixture of drawing and shot play.
Yeah, that's it. We've got a lot of players playing really well here. That would have been a nice bowl for Tony. In fact, he played 2 good bowls that end. Probably his best end so far.
I agree.
And I think that'll relax him a little bit.
I agree. I think it's tough when you lose a parent in any situation, but when you have to try and concentrate on bowls, when you know you've got a funeral on Tuesday to prepare for, but Tony's very experienced and very mentally tough. And I think him going inside, maybe just have a drink or just have a little bit of a break. Come out maybe feeling a little bit more refreshed. Bruce Walters goes round to the back with his first. Zoran again. He's been pretty steady, but he's just been up against someone in Bruce Walters who's played out of his tree in the first part of the game.
Yeah, that's it. Even when Zoran has been playing really steady bowls, they've almost looked loose purely because of how good Bruce has been, but perhaps Bruce has lost a little bit of a rhythm, but we'll see after this bowl here.
Yep. Yeah, he's on the tight side. It'll come down to weight now, and he doesn't have enough of that either. So advantage to Mount Albert early in this 9th end.
It's amazing how you can start off a game so well, where he was putting 2 on the jack every time to just losing your way a bit. It's it happens all too often. It's hard to play at that level for a long period of time, but no doubt he'll come back into it.
And maybe that short bowl of Zoran's just slightly in Bruce's eyes, so suddenly you start saying, well, I don't want to hit it up, so you try and play a bit narrow to get underneath, and a bit narrow becomes a lot narrow. And there you are. Good line here from Gary Doherty. Again, he's played some great bowls in this game, and this is no exception.
Yeah,
well
wow.
Played.
Spot on.
Very good bowl.
Are we looking to be a little bit aggressive here?
Yep.
No mucking around, that's for sure.
Yeah, pretty good line. He's close.
Tony's interested.
He's got it.
Nah, there's a gap.
Oh, wow.
Well, he got a touch on it, and his bowl's alive.
And he's moved it away from the shot bowl, so it's definitely easier to get to. Bit of laugh, bit of banter between the teams. Nice to see. And Gary with his second bowl.
Gary will be thinking, I'll just have to put it back.
And I tell you what, he's not far away.
He's got a beautiful line. Touch quicker maybe, but he's going to get an edge. No. Oh, good home anyway.
Yeah, good position bowl when you're holding. So Tony, they're not going to continue the attacking. They've got the back bowls, so I think Randall's going to be running on his backhand. Yep.
Yeah, that is quite aggressive play.
Yep, and he's close again.
I
In the
guess,
turn, what's he do with that bowl? Whoa.
I suppose Tony would know the strengths of his team as well, so he wouldn't call it if he didn't back them.
And he's got that toucher in the ditch of Niven's, so he's probably figuring, and Niven's got the back bowl, so if they can get a touch on that jack and get it back, potentially makes it pretty difficult for New Lynn. But now they've only got one bowl on the head.
That's it.
And, Tony says, right, just get another one on the head. He'll probably play the forehand, look to see if he can just turn Zoran's bowl up.
Yeah, that's it. You can either follow Gary in, or there's Zoran's bowl to knock over.
He's tight, all down to weight now, and I don't think there's enough of that either. Yeah, Tony and Randall will be disappointed with that bowl.
Always.
Really a nothing bowl, and the advantage swings back to New Lynn. They're only holding the one, but
I wonder, what was the call there? Is Keith drawing another one on the head, or is he looking to go past and negate any shot play from Tony?
Just drawing another bowl, I think. I possibly figure the bowl in the ditch is too hard to beat. If he can get a touch on his own, he makes two. Might even make three.
Well played.
Very well played. Oh.
Hard to know if it's one or two, but regardless, it's sitting pretty well for the New Lynn Bowling Club.
Yep.
They're looking to see if it is one or two.
And definitely makes it hard for Tony to do anything but draw.
Yeah, it would be all too easy if he were to have a run at it. All too easy to chip your own out, and then you'll be in a fair bit of strife.
That's right. There's a lot of other New Lynn bowls in the vicinity there. I expect Tony will come down on the forehand and just look to turn that bowl of Zoran's down, or come around it and draw the shot. He played a very good bowl on his forehand in the last end. But let's see. No, he likes the backhand. Obviously more confident on that side. And there's definitely a line into the jack on that side. Away he goes. Yeah, pretty close here. What's the weight doing? Just a little over. Wasn't bad. Didn't too much, did it?
No, it really didn't. I think, what would that be, fourth shot?
Yeah, might give him a bit of encouragement to play with weight. Let's see what Adam does. Yeah, suggestion maybe he's a bit quick. He's in a good line. But no, yeah, he's a lot quick.
Yeah, looks like they're just drawing again, beating his last one.
So I'm guessing they're only one down. And so let's just, keep it tight. Yeah.
How much is he going to hold? Is he going to back edge? No.
No. Didn't have the weight. So, yeah, I expect Adam holding at least one. He'll just be drawing. Any touch on the jack is good for them. Oh, he's gone tight too.
We have seen that a little bit on that hand. I wonder if it's just quite a fine line.
One it is. So good eyes from Tony Grantham. So
They probably wouldn't mind dropping a 1 on that end. Obviously, they opted to play aggressively, and had they connected, it would have paid off in spades. But having not made those connections, it did make the end a bit awkward for them.
I agree. And sometimes you've just got to make the best of a bad end. And what I mean by that is just acknowledge that getting the shot isn't the be all and end all at this stage of the game, and losing 1 is better than going down a heap.
Yeah, I think the way that end played out, they probably did well to just drop the 1.
I agree.
Bruce just not quite finding his weight these last 2 or 3 ends.
Yeah, quite a big turnaround from the way he was playing earlier, and you can see a bit of frustration on his face, head down, just having a bit of a think about it. And while he's struggling, Zoran is probably playing about the same as he was earlier, but of course suddenly he doesn't have bowls a lot closer, though that's a very good start. Well played.
Yep, you're right. Bruce will need to find a way out of this little rut that he's found himself in.
Yep.
That's the trick, isn't it? It's easy when it's going well.
That's right. And just tending to play a little bit narrow with the second bowl at the moment. Much better weight or speed that time. So he's played a reasonable second shot there for his team. And Zoran played another good one here. This will be close. If he's got speed,
Yeah, he looks good.
he'll be... Oh, just dropped short. He'd be disappointed with that because, he really had every chance.
Yeah, the line was
There.
perfect.
I wonder, just with it starting to get a little bit colder, we've got the lights on here at Royal Oak. Maybe the green's just slowing down a little bit, just a little bit more bit of moisture in the air.
Yeah, I would say that you're right.
And Gary, well, he slips past.
Good speed.
Yeah, nice little sit off the bowl of Bruce's, so he's ended up with a good second.
Yeah, he's probably been one of the steadier players throughout the game. We have seen a lot of good bowls, of course.
He has. So Niven Grigesevic, and he's close here. This is a very good bowl.
Just past, perfect.
Yep.
Well played.
Yep, applause all round from both the skip and the Mount Albert supporters. So Gary Doherty with the second.
Really only needs a slightly wider line. That's all that was missing last time.
Yeah, and he's on that line. Does he hold? Does he hold past the Bartulovic bowl?
Enough, yep.
Well,
Just enough.
got a nice little slide, but it's still 2 to Mount Albert. And Tony Grantham says, time for a change of hand, Niven.
I imagine it will look a little different to Niven down his end, but there certainly is a track in there, and Tony knows that. That's why he's called it.
Yeah, I think he said to Tony, am I around or underneath that bowl? Tony said, no, you're around it.
Yeah.
And he's played this pretty well. He's on a good line here. This will break back nicely on that hand. Here it comes. Here it comes.
Yeah, that's 2
Yeah.
cracking bowls from Niven.
Well played.
One on
Well
each hand
played.
even. Are we going to see a bit of aggression here, Brett?
Yep. Yeah. Adam's a man of few words. But I think we all get the picture. Down there with some weight.
Yeah, I think the backhand, yep.
Yep.
Oh, yep, he called it himself. He said, I've gone too wide.
And he didn't really need to be anywhere near that quick. He's just looking for a contact in that area.
Yeah, it's interesting.
Um,
I suppose people typically have a default speed that they have.
They do.
It took me a little while to work out what my one was, but
What's yours, Terry?
probably not that quick at all. But yeah, I found that my weighted shots were going a lot better once I stopped trying to force a speed
Yep.
that wasn't all that accurate. So, yeah, I probably play a lot of those run shots with a very similar speed to each other, and that's my default speed.
Yeah, I think your ability to play at a weight where you can keep your head down is pretty critical, because typically when people try and go quick, they lift their head. So if you can keep your head down, and Keith did that time, much better, and he's going to get a result here. Off
Yeah.
that bowl, well,
One out.
yep, so still 2 to Mount Albert. You'd probably say, well, like, sitting in a pretty good spot for Adam to play down there, but you still got to get it. But in the meantime, Randall Watkins will be looking to try and add another shot down on that forehand side. And is he going to hold?
No, I think he's under. Oh,
No, not quite.
yeah, only a touch wider. He would have been pretty close. Well, there's a little target there for him.
Adam's a very calm, cool and calm customer. I think the question for me here is, what speed does he opt for? Does he go full on? There's a back bowl, I think, belonging to. Oh no, that's
Mount Albert.
That's Mount Albert. So
He could almost even get bowl without any jack, couldn't he? And that would
That's
be
right.
quite good, because it looks like New Lynn have a couple of Gary's pink bowls to the right there, or to the left now.
yeah, so he's playing controlled weight, and he's close.
Needs
Very
to
close
hold.
here. Does he hold? No. So that might prompt him to go a bit quicker with the next bowl.
I think it's worth going a bit quicker.
Yeah, well, it's such a big target. I mean, and you get a contact on the bowl on your left, the bowl of Zoran Bartulovic's, and then you've got a good chance of, as you say, getting both bowls, or getting onto the jack and your bowl straightening up with the jack. Where on that run, you wouldn't want to get the thin edge of the jack, and then be potentially down. Now, I think Tony's trying to block here.
It looks that way, doesn't it?
He plays a lot with Gary Lawson, who I think is one of the best players of the block
Okay.
that I've seen in New Zealand bowls in my time watching.
You don't see a whole... Well, I haven't seen a whole lot of blocks being played in outdoor. You'd probably see more of it in indoor, of course.
Yes.
And Gary Lawson, he's been an indoor bowler, a very good indoor bowler for many years.
Absolutely. Yep.
It's close.
Played with a bit more purpose this time, and he's...
Only a little touch. Oh, he's played it, but what's out there? Still Mount Albert.
Yep. So...
I wonder if he's worse off now.
Yep. Randall says you got 2. So he was 2 down before, but as you say, it's given
A lot of room.
room for Tony. So you'd be... Well, I won't put the commentator's curse on him. I'll just say it's a lot of room for Tony.
Yeah. Just draw the 2. That's all you need to do here, I think. Makes for a good game anyway.
Yep, we're going to be very close to being tied up here.
Looks to be good.
Yep. Randall says 3. Gary and Keith are having a good look. No, they're not going to contest that assumption. So 3 it is. And, what you thought was a reasonably low risk shot for Adam, but by just not going really quick and just getting that edge, and not getting that your bowl following through with it, played into Mount Albert's hands. But you played.
He almost needed either bowl without the jack or the jack full, but he sort of got a bit of everything, and it didn't quite work out.
And not with the weight to do exactly either of what you wanted to do. But anyway, his misfortune is Mount Albert's luck, and they're out to now trailing by 1 shot. And have we seen a momentum change here at the front of this game, where suddenly it's Zoran Bartulovic and Niven Grigisevic who are dominating and just laying that foundation. Better bowl here from Bruce Walters, but again, just tight with his line and short.
Yeah, I think in that earlier part of the game, Zoran and Niven weren't too far away, but Bruce and Gary were just always inside their bowls. In these last, 2 or 3 ends, probably 3 ends, we've seen, Zoran and Niven now inside Bruce and Gary's bowls. Commentator's curse, of course. This one's a bit shorter.
Yep, he followed that up, and I think sometimes that can put you off if you're thinking as you let it go to follow up. Yeah, I think any time you see the number 2 driving, as we saw early in the game with Niven, you know that you're under pressure. Here's a better bowl from Bruce. Is he going to sit it clean? Yes, he does. So maybe still 1 to Mount Albert.
Yeah, it's just a touch on the outside of that bowl, but certainly a good bowl for Bruce to play. He made the most of that second chance that he got.
So when we get a shot again from the other end, you'll see Nick Grigisevic, Niven's father, sitting behind the rink. I hadn't noticed him there before, so I'm not sure whether he's been there the whole game, but Nick was, in my opinion, one of the best 4 skips. There's Nick, sitting there behind Adam Wishnowsky with the glasses on, and Nick was out of the Hillsborough Club, one of the best 4 skips New Zealand has seen. Very, very hard to beat into centre and in major tournament play, and Niven and his brother Vince are both good players like their father, and had lots of opportunity to watch when they were younger. So disappointing bowl for Gary Doherty there. You just get that feeling that as this game goes on, it's the Mount Albert team that are getting better, and here's another good bowl from Niven.
Yeah, the energy feels different, doesn't it?
It does.
You're looking at the Mount Albert side, and they look like they've got a bit of, pick up about them, whereas the New Lynn side look just a touch flatter than what they have been. Sometimes what we're doing externally is reflecting how we're feeling internally.
That's right. Yeah, 10-4, it looked a very different game after they got that 5. Now they're running at the head, playing with weight, admittedly pretty good weight, and he's punched one of Bruce's bowls back as a catcher, but momentum definitely with Mount Albert here. And obviously a lot to play for. The boys all wearing black armbands in memory of Tony's dad, John. And I know that's weighing heavily on Tony's mind, but maybe he's turning that into some positive motivation at this stage of the game. So Randall Watkins, that's a great bowl.
Excellent bowl.
That's a very good bowl from Randall.
Well, if it was Tony calling it, he'd be saying, hit it.
Yep,
But Adam, I think he's keen for another bowl on the head, isn't he?
He is.
That's okay. I know some skips would feel more comfortable. He's played it with a nice speed, hasn't he?
Yeah, he's going to get a nice connection here, but I think he's going to get an unlucky result. Well, he's moved it out a bit, but still 3 down.
It probably wasn't good or bad, was it? It's very similar to how it was before. Same situation. Still a reasonably, I'd say, straightforward shot, but not necessarily an easy shot either.
That's right.
There is a difference, of course.
So Tony's saying, look, you just draw again. Keep the pressure on.
They've been really steady up front.
Yep.
Mount Albert side these last few ends.
Randall's a pretty steady draw player. Again, he's played this pretty well. Is he going to be up? No, but I think he's going to finish in a good home.
Yeah, it's not the worst. And I think Tony will know that.
Yep. So Keith, instruction to Keith Ansell, dead draw.
Well, the Track
good line.
looks good. The speed looks handy.
He's played this well.
Wow.
He's played this well.
What a brilliant bowl.
And suddenly the Randall Watkins bowl doesn't look so good.
Yeah, no, that's
How
so
often
true.
do you see that?
Yep.
Great bowl, Keith Ansell. That
Yeah,
was,
it's handy while you're holding, not so handy when you're not holding.
and that was exactly what this Newland team were needed. I mean, things were starting to look like they were getting from bad to worse. So well played, Keith.
Yep. And, you know, we've talked so often about the timing of good bowls, and that bowl certainly had excellent timing. At the end of the day, Newland still have that 1 point lead. And now they're holding a really good shot.
Yeah,
You can
so
see the energy change again, can't you?
Yeah. So Randall's saying, look, you know, don't attack on that side, because as much as you might be frustrated that, you know, we were holding and now we're one down, jack movement sideways, 4 down, not a good look. So Tony, just see if he can jag in there. He's close. He's played this well.
Using
Look at
that a
this.
little bit.
Oh,
He was so close. Fantastic effort.
now that might lock that jack in there. Now we'll have a look.
Oh,
Yeah.
yeah.
That probably means he can play with a bit of weight now, because if he does get onto the jack, it's likely to lock in there, and in fact, if anything, go back towards where Nevin Grigicevic's bowl is. So,
Yeah.
So Adam trying to get another one in there. Oh, and he,
Might change something.
oh my
Ooh.
goodness.
So
Oh
now
my
Mount
goodness.
Albert is holding the shot, which I don't know if they wanted that. Sometimes you kind
Yeah.
of like being one down and having a good shot on. Now they have to think about it. They have so many.
And Gary Doherty certainly wasn't very happy, turned his back, and but look, at the end of the day, I mean, you know, they had to get another bowl on the head.
Randall's still keen to look to roll out that Newland bowl.
Well, it's funny, you know, when you play such a good head like this,
You want to capitalise.
You want to capitalise, and mentally you're kind of going, look, I want to make the most of it. And one doesn't seem to be enough, right? Because you've played such good bowls.
They're going to play it.
Yeah.
I don't think it's. It'll be very similar to Tony's first bowl. You know. Yep, that's the speed there. Yep,
Yeah,
that's
look
all
at-
you need.
And even if you get onto the jack, if you narrow it, and I don't know if you can get onto it with that bowl of Adams in front, but even if you get onto the jack, you're likely to jag it sideways to your bowls, with your bowl coming through it. That's a great angle. Thanks, guys. So you can see that, you know, he'll be looking to try and play that split and pop the bowl out. But if he does get onto the jack, the law of averages would say you get the shot. That doesn't always mean you will. But let's see. This will be a Tony Grantham special, I think. I think he's tight, actually.
It does seem that way.
Yep, I think he's played it a bit tight. Does he get the back edge of the shot bowl?
Oh.
Nope. Oh, he opens it up. Now what do you do, Adam Wisnowski? You're one
He has to be
down.
careful. I think he'd just have to draw down.
Well, I think you either draw it or you whack it. You know, and you'd be, and I'm not advocating whacking it, by the way. I think
There's nothing in between, though. Yeah.
No, I think you're either, as you say, you're either drawing it just with the same sort of weight he played last time, actually, and I think that's what he'll do.
Yeah, he hasn't had a big hit yet, has he?
No,
He tends to favour the drawing game. Oh, he's not far away.
he's not far
He
away.
is
at all,
not far away. Black clean, no jack. Oh, he got the jack.
And now two. Oh, look, that's a cruel game.
Keith will be thinking, what happened?
Yeah.
I drew a bomb and you gave away one, now you've given away two.
You know, and it's a cruel game because, you know, it's a game of such fine margins, and instead of being two in front, you find yourself one behind playing in 12 or 15. You know, what a momentum change, you
And
know.
psychologically, you know, if Tony had played that and got two, they'd probably be okay with it.
Yep.
But because the skip played it, you know, there's a little bit of a psychological game there.
Yep, and you can see a little bit of the, you know.
But hey, it was still such a good bowl. You know, you
Oh.
can't take that away from Adam.
Well, he had to get another one there, and he hit. I mean, Tony's too good a player to lay off the head and hope that he's going to miss. And so, yeah, look, I think, sometimes you're damned if you do and damned if you don't.
He couldn't have played it much better.
No, I agree. And Adam, with that last bowl, it's probably, a couple of millimetres away from playing the perfect bowl.
Oh, and he would have sat for two himself.
Completely.
Yeah. So almost, I guess, a 4-shot turnaround there. Purely for a couple of millimetres.
So what does that do to the mindset for Bruce and the rest of the team? Does it steal them? Do they get back on the horse? Well, here's a good start from Bruce. A little bit of room from Zoran, and yeah, that's his best bowl for a little while.
Yeah, he's got his speed right there.
Polite clap from Adam. So
yeah, like you say, it's a bit of make or break time really in these last 4 ends. And Newland could, there's two ways to go about it, isn't there? And they could either dig deep and show how determined they are to get over the line, or they could let that dictate how they're going to go for the rest of the game.
Yep, Zoran not happy with his second bowl, just dropping short, and I think he might have some company shortly. And I think this is definitely down to the green starting to slow down a bit. Just with the temperature drop, obviously we've got heaters on here, but it's a big space, and as it starts to get a little bit colder, the green will get slower. So here's a good bowl from Niven. Just going to slide by, but finishing in a good spot. So probably still 1 to Bruce Walters. One of the looser ends we've seen for a while. Gary on his forehand. He's played this side pretty well coming in this direction. Let's see how he goes this time. Yeah, he's on a good line here. Yeah, breaking nicely. He's played a good bowl here.
Yep, on the money.
Yep.
And we have seen him do that a lot this game. He might not have been there the last end or two, but he's coming back.
Yeah, this direction in particular, he's drawn some good shots on that forehand side. He's obviously found a good line. Niven's close here too.
Yeah, he's certainly been effective.
Here he comes. Is he going to sit it?
Just outside it. Good home.
Yep. Yeah, gets a clap from Tony.
Yep.
Right.
Tony with plenty to work with.
So, oh, no, bit of noise from the spectators. So, resets. Yeah, he's on that line again, a little bit tighter this time, but he might have the weight to hold. Does he get around it?
Yeah, he's good. Little touch is fine.
Yeah, well played. Well played, that's 2. Yeah, good on the mat discipline. It's hard sometimes when you get a bit of a distraction from the crowd, but was smart enough to stop and just get yourself reset. So Randall Watkins now. He's on a good line here.
Down to the speed. Unfortunately, there's still a path there.
Yeah, be disappointed with that when you've got two good catches and behind there, everything to be up for.
Yeah, that's it.
Right, Keith Ansell drew a cracker in the last end.
Yes, his last bowl was magnificent.
He's on a good line here too. He gets a little bit of turn out of his bowl.
Just past is fine for Keith. That one's all right as well.
Yep. Yeah.
Same idea.
Yeah, turns Bruce back, so it's another catcher. Though right now, I think Mount able to be very happy just to get the shot.
Yep.
Or second.
Randall won't be short, I don't think, on this one.
He's gone tighter. Yeah, and I'm not sure he's got that much more speed. Oh no, he has. The speed was good. Just missing his line. So not a bad bowl there. It gives him a bit of position on that side of the head if the jack was to be sliced. See what Keith does with his last bowl. Yeah, well, he's tightened it up. just a bit over, I think, weight-wise. But if he
Think-
sits this bowl, it's going to
Yeah.
be pretty handy. Yep, that's another shot.
Yep, third shot and some position as well.
A little bit of a grimace from Tony Grantham there. Now, does Tony continue to try and play that backhand side, Terry, or do you think he goes to the open hand just where he's got a nice clean run in?
Yeah, I think it's still either way, but there's probably less pros than what there was before on that backhand, and we can see them now opting for that forehand, and I think that's the best way to go. You know, it's more open.
Yeah, because even if you were to get the jack on the backhand side, the bowls are pretty well mixed up behind.
You're probably only going to get one shot anyway.
Yep. So
You may as well go the open hand.
and you've got to weave your way through a couple of bowls there. So and when you're such a good draw player like Tony is,
Yep.
long time, international lead for New Zealand, why not go back to your A game?
That's it.
Oh, I think he's tight here. He's
Got
got
a
good, he's
little
got good
hold.
weight,
Yeah,
but I'm not sure he's going to really make a difference.
yeah, probably a little more of both.
Oh, he might have cut out the back bowl. He might have cut out the back shot, so that might be third shot. Yeah, a little shake of the head from Tony. He'd be disappointed with that. And Adam's on a good line here. Here he comes. This will be close to being the shot. No, it just slides by, but
Yeah, gets a nice sit. I'd
Yep.
say he's back in for 3.
Yep, clap from Gary Doherty, and that's not because he's trying to keep his hands warm. So Tony,
Looked interested.
yep,
Still seems a touch tight, but possibly not.
his bowls hold a lot more. He's played this
Oh.
well. He's played this very well. Oh, that's a great bowl. That's a great bowl. Look, second shot,
Absolutely.
very good bowl.
One to come from Adam Wisnowski.
Yes.
Room for 2.
Yep.
But a great bowl from Tony. Likely 3 down before that bowl. Got a touch
Yep.
on the jack and cut it down to 1. Ooh, they might look for TG's bowl. Is that what Gary was signalling?
I don't know.
Well, they're going to have a look at it.
Adam's come up to have a look. I think it's more of a draw, to be honest. I mean, I think, you wouldn't want to get Tony's short bowl up onto the jack. That would be disastrous when when you were holding so many shots.
And the back bowls do belong to Mount Albert.
Yeah, I mean, you'd only have to be yes, there's a target through there, but again, it's one of those situations a bit like the last time when you've played a good end, it seems you're being shortchanged if you only get one. But if he came down there and got Tony's bowl onto Bruce's bowl, you'd be very unhappy, wouldn't you?
Yeah, that's it. Be interesting.
Oh well,
He
he's
is
playing with weight.
on the forehand.
I honestly don't know what he. Oh well, maybe
Was he looking to promote?
Yeah, perhaps looking to plant that on. Yeah. Well, everyone sees the game differently, and but anyway, in the meantime, we're all locked up here. 1 to Newland, and we're 12 all, and we're playing end 13, so 3 ends to go in this Bowls Auckland Champion of Champion final for the men. And look, what an intriguing game.
Yeah, very similar to the women's, really, where we had one team, have a bit of a lead, but next thing you know, they're all square with, in the women's case, 2 ends to go, I think it was, and this one has 3 ends to go.
And
A good start from Bruce.
yep.
That's
I think
what he was doing.
I think it's when he really gets his arm through and he gets that follow through going, he gets the bowl out to the line, but a couple of times he's just chopped that swing and that's when he's going narrow. So you can probably pick it from in that delivery motion, if he's going to get it out there. And Zoran has played some good bowls, but, just dropping short here, which is not ideal. I mean, not far away. And so
Yeah, his, I guess, what you'd call bad bowls haven't actually been all that bad, have they? You know, they haven't been wasted by any means.
Been very consistent. Now, see, he pulled his arm across there. Now, he's going to be narrower than his first, but actually still played it pretty well. Yeah, in fact, played it very well. That's 2 good bowls. So what do I know? Well played.
Yeah, good spot there. 2 good bowls. Zoran looking to correct. Doesn't need to correct by much.
No.
Lovely action, of course, which speaks to his consistency.
Is he there? Is he there? Yeah, this is where, maybe just a little bit of an experience, not spotting the green just slowing down a little bit. Too beautiful green for the bowls, but
certainly got his line. What
Gary,
about Gary?
ooh, this could get ugly.
Yeah, it's going to... Yeah.
Well, could have been worse. He has turned it up, but definitely needed line there.
Opportunity now.
And he's played a little narrow on that side coming down here. I think going in the other direction, the forehand's a little bit straighter.
Yeah.
But in this direction, it definitely turns.
Yeah.
And we'll see that with Niven's bowl here. You watch this come back, everyone. Oh, he's got a little bit of weight on, but it'll still turn, at least to the centre line. Yep. Nice line. Right. What can Gary do this time? Can he get it out? Yep, that looks a better line to me.
Yeah, it definitely is. His speed was pretty good last time. So if he's kept that around, he'll be close. Don't think he has.
No. Right, Niven. He's coming for a wander.
Better speed.
Yeah, I think he's close here.
It's going to turn now.
Yeah, he's played this good.
Yeah.
Very good pole.
Great
Very good
correction. Niven has certainly been playing some good bowls in this final.
Yep. And been a big reason why Mount Albert have got back into this game, having dropped that disastrous 5 early. And it's Keith Ansell now having to try and rescue. And that's not one of his better ones. That's 3 pretty narrow bowls in a row they've played on that hand. You've just got to get out there and let that bowl do the work for you. So what can Randall do?
I think the line's okay.
Yep, yeah, I think he likes this. I think he likes it for a good reason. It's going to come, it'll start coming
Needs
now.
to break now. Doesn't get the same break that Niven's bowls do.
No, just had a slight wobble with the bowl, just a slight one, and that might have just held it out, or maybe it's a different model bowl.
Potentially.
So Keith just taking his time this time. This is a pretty critical bowl for Newland. They're only one down, but they just need another bowl on the head. Right. Well, he's taking his green, but he's added weight. So look, it's coming to a good home around the back there, but it matches Niven's bowl. So he does give Adam something to play to, but really, it's just a draw down there, I think.
Randall just needs to beat Newland to the jack, really. Adam's got a nice wee shot to move the jack to Bruce's bowls.
Well, he put on more speed, but unfortunately lost his weight. So 1 to Niven Grgicevic on behalf of the Tony Grantham Mount Albert team.
Randall not too far away with his first bowl.
Yeah, it'd be interesting to see what he plays here. Adam, I mean, he could drive the bowl if he wanted to, but he's drawn well in this game.
Yeah, he typically favours the draw. I think a positive draw would be a good way to approach this shot. He's got the shot bowl to land on, or the jack to move. He's given it chances.
Yeah, close here. Very, very close here.
Hold to it. Oh, he's going to duck under. Beautiful speed.
Yeah, it was. Yeah, just nice controlled weight. Any movement of that jack into that pocket just behind there would be 3 or 4 or more shots. So all of those bowls there in a row, boom, boom, boom,
So the question is,
their bowls. So they're having a look. Can they get that bowl out of New Lynn?
without risk, I don't know.
Love it.
I'd be tempted to just either draw the forehand and beat him to it, or even draw the backhand and cover. But
I'm with you, Terry. I think it's a forehand draw. I think I'd be on coming down on that forehand, looking to try and just get in the way. But
they're looking at going on to Gary's pink, which will then promote Randall's black bowl, and of course,
and if they're wide, he can get Zoran's bowl,
yeah,
and get that onto the white bowl. So I think they're going to go for it. I mean, they obviously feel, there aren't that many ends to go. You don't get many chances for big numbers, and I guess hard to cover that trail shot by Adam. So is this the way of stopping him with that? So let's see what Tony does.
yeah, it might just change up some angles, or
He's having a look up. I'm guessing that's thinking about his dad, John. Yep. All right, let's see. Courage of the conviction. Here we go.
very proactive shot here. Where is it?
They like it.
Oh, well played, Tony.
Very well played. So that's made. That could be 3.
Yeah, he played that to perfection.
Played it with very good weight, or very good speed.
Yeah.
Good controlled speed.
Yeah, I think it was one you certainly couldn't underplay it, and you probably couldn't overplay it. So he's played it really well, made 3 of it potentially, and also negated Bruce's bowls on the right hand side.
That's right. He's taken that shot out completely. So they're having a look at it and saying, well, if he comes down and plays off the edge, the black bowl out on the left, which is Randall's bowl, potentially he could take out those 3: the black bowl, the white and black bowl, and the brownie bowl of Zoran Matulovic's, and that would probably be one shot to them. But no, I think he's going to play a different shot. He's going to play the backhand. Yep, and try and run down there for it.
Not an easy shot.
No, I think he was drawing. Well, that surprises me. That really surprises me. And
what an opportunity for Mount Albert.
yep, maybe he was just worried about losing their bowl, but that really surprises me. But Adam is a very good draw player, and certainly in the semi-finals against Adam Blucher's Te Aratu team, he drew some great shots. So
Yeah, you got to play to your strengths. That in itself gives it a higher percentage.
yeah, but that really does surprise me, particularly when they had the bowls on the other side of the head, where if they could have got a contact onto that front bowl, onto the jack, they had bowls both directly behind, Keith's right at the back. Anyway, that shot's passed. Now it's down to Tony Grantham and what does he play. So
I feel like the forehand's safer, isn't it?
I mean,
But
maybe it is only 1 or 2. Maybe it isn't a big number, and that's why Adam was reluctant to potentially take the risk of turning that on. Anyway, time will tell. Tony's going to play his bowl, and Adam's just going to have to watch and see what the outcome looks like.
what are your thoughts on that one, Tony?
He's hunting. He's hunting. He's got that bowl.
Yeah.
He's got that bowl. Yeah, well played. I reckon that's 3.
Yeah, certainly 3. Possibly a 4th on it, 3.
3 it is.
Wow.
Yeah, look, 2 great bowls from Tony Grantham. I think looked upstairs in both cases, obviously with his dad on his mind, and played 2 absolute bombs.
Yep, very timely. In fact, in the last 4 ends, Mount Albert have won 8-1 effectively.
Wow.
So they obviously had the 4-shot deficit with however many ends it was to go, just
6.
past the halfway mark.
Yeah.
And they've really turned that around, and they now have a 3-shot buffer going into these final 2 ends. If they can score here, it's going to be a tough ask for the Newland team.
Yeah, and it just feels like Newland have taken some interesting options in those last few ends. Everyone sees the game differently, and that's a great start from Zoran Bartulovic.
Yeah, even that first bowl from TG last end, very proactive to move that, promote those bowls.
Yep.
It was a bit of a 2-in-1 shot, getting the shot and creating some position. So a very smart call from Mount Albert.
Sure was. So Bruce Walters just pulling up short there. So Zoran with his second.
Of course, Tony Grantham could be earning a gold star here today.
Yes, that's our understanding. And Zoran just going a little quick here. Probably just, he's a newer player, probably maybe just feeling a little anxious and wanting to be up. Nothing wrong with being over, but a little bit further probably than he wanted. But nevertheless, good position for them. One on, one behind, and Bruce Walters with his bowl, not quite reaching.
Yeah, quite the contrast to how he started this game.
Absolutely, and and a big part of that Mount Albert, that Newland lead was the bowls that he and Gary Doherty played. So Niven Grigetovic, you draw one here, and a really good close shot, and the game starts to look a bit different. He's on a good line. I don't know if will he hold past that bowl?
No, it looks like he's going square into it.
There you go.
Well,
So game of fine margins. If he'd just got past it, he probably would have been right on top of the jack at that speed. But anyway, he wasn't, and so it's still 1-. Oop.
well, last time he reset, he played an absolute screamer.
He did. Righty-ho. What do we got? Well, I think he might be on that screamer line again, just quietly, Terry.
Yeah, looks pretty good.
Yeah.
Square onto the jack, go through with it.
He should do that more often. Brilliant bowl. Well played, Gary Doherty. Keeping your side in it. So 15-12 behind, but now holding one. Right. Niven Grigetovic, what have you got?
Yeah, that last bowl of his was probably his worst one in a while, and it wasn't even that far away. Just a bad result in the finish.
Yep. Yeah, it just gets wreaked out on that bowl. So his two most, I suppose, in different bowls for a few ends. And is this the opening for Newland to get back into this game?
Looks on the tighter side here, but he might finish all right.
Yeah, he could back edge that bowl of theirs up.
Dislodge it.
Oh.
No,
He's there and abouts. It's probably third shot maybe, and a useful bowl to have on the head. Oh, that's a shocker. And will be very disappointed with that. Narrow and short.
Yeah, never really a chance, that one. It's potentially blocked that hand as well, if you were looking to sit the shot bowl. Keith's turn to draw another shot here.
We know he's played some cracker bowls on this hand. So what does he do this time? He's close here.
Yeah, that's a nice line for him.
He's close here. Oh, well played.
Yeah, I'd imagine that'd be 2 shots if it sits in.
2 down is the call from Tony Grantham. Right, what can Randall do with this second bowl of his? Yeah, it's out on a better line, that's
Yeah,
for
he's
sure.
given this one a chance. He's a quick learner.
Coming now.
On to Keith's one would be alright.
Just going to slide by. Okay.
Keith can pretty much just do the same again, I think.
Yep. If he can ice this one, then we could be going into the last end all locked up. He's out on that line again. Fraction narrower.
Only a fraction.
Now it dives. Obviously.
Oh, the speed was beautiful.
Oh, absolutely it was.
Yeah, if he had that same line, it would have been a screamer.
Yep. Okay. Well, we've seen some great bowls played by these two skips. Adam's possibly been a bit unlucky with some of his results. But in the last few ends, it's been Tony Grantham who's been really showing us why he is a long-term international player for New Zealand and winner of many titles, national and international, and of course local. And let's see what he does here.
The first bit's good.
Yep, yeah, good line. It's going to be pretty close here, I think. So he got the speed.
Oh, he's just going to run out.
Oh, he'll be disappointed. It's such a nice line. But
Probably makes his next bowl a little trickier, depending what happens here.
right. Yep, you heard it. You can do it, buddy. Just draw out to that white bowl. All right, he wants to draw to the...
Change of plans.
Obviously not feeling the forehand shot.
I'm not sure how he feels about the speed here. He might use some bowls.
He'll need to.
Probably
He's a
need
bit
to,
quick.
yeah.
Not sure why he didn't want to play that hand. Perhaps he just felt Tony's bowl was in the way. But the way that hand's turning and the way his bowl turns.
Yeah, sometimes it does just look that little bit different from the player's end. Oh, yep,
so
just coming off the peg line, are they?
Yep. Well, see the funny side of it. So you can see where Tony gets his line from, the bank. Well, pretty close here.
Yeah, he's got a bit of speed.
Pretty close here.
Little touch onto the jack.
Great bowl.
Really good for second shot.
Yeah. That's class. That's class. Just tightened it up a little bit.
Yep.
Just with that weight, knowing that he had a couple of chances there.
Well, that's Keith's bowl.
There's a chance there.
At the
There's a
back
chance
there.
there. Yeah. There's a chance to draw down there.
And to the wing, isn't it? So if you...
Yep.
Oh, you'd have to think carefully about how you want to play this, because if you're not clear, it'd be all too easy to give it away.
And he's had a couple of unlucky results where he squeezed the jack the wrong way, as we saw earlier.
Yeah, we think about that shot where he was one down on the head, played an absolute bomb, but moved the jack just a touch to go 2 down.
That's right.
A millimetre narrower, he would have scored to himself, and really that's the difference of the score at the moment.
Yeah, so big conference, everyone's involved, and nothing wrong with that because it's a pretty critical stage of the game.
So the question is...
Yeah, so they're saying, look, play your backhand and try and play that bowl out. But as he's saying, well, if I get that plant, then what happens? You know, I could plant our bowl clean out.
That's it.
Or does he just try and draw, bank the one, try and draw another shot and you're 2 down playing the last end. But you're giving Tony Grantham last bowl.
It's tricky, all right.
Right. Let's see what they're going to do. Oh, well. He's playing the forehand.
Yeah, I can see some future on the forehand, but it's not easy. Is he looking for...
He's looking for the bowl.
Tony's bowl. If he comes off onto the jack, that's not the end of the world by any means. Oh, that one. Oh, maybe still one though.
Yep, just the one. Good bowl. Very good bowl.
It's always good when you feel like you've played the shot looking for more, and even if it doesn't pan out, you've still held on to the one. You haven't given it away.
That's right.
And they haven't, so that makes the score 13-15. Mount Albert have their nose in front going into the final end.
Yeah, look, it's been another cracker final. It really has. You know, all the players have played their part at different stages. And, while advantage is definitely with Mount Albert, you wouldn't rule Newland out on the way they've played. So let's see how we go here. It's Zoran Bartulovic to get it. Oh, no, sorry, Bruce Walters to get us underway.
Yeah, he's got the jack this time, so that might help his situation. If he has an end like he did in the early parts of the final, wouldn't surprise me if Newland get a number.
Yeah, it's a pretty good opener.
He'll be happy. It's on the right side of the jack.
Yeah, we're almost 2-2, so it's a long end. Right, what can Zoran do?
Yeah, it is quite a different length to what we've been seeing, so it'll be interesting to see how all of the players adjust.
And you kind of say, it's kind of first to the jack on these long ends, in terms of changing the momentum.
Yep.
And Zoran's heavy. He'll stay up, and so that's the good news for... He gets a clap from Tony, so he's close. Bruce very quickly into his work. Yeah, and he's on a better line this time. If he's got the speed, he'll be pretty close to jack here. Yeah, that's a
he's
good
close.
Bowl. That's a very good bowl. Well played.
He'll be happy with that. Tony happy for him to stay on the same hand.
Yep. This stage, second shot's good fishing. You're leading by 2. You don't need the shot.
That's it. And he still might get the shot on that hand.
Completely.
So, yep, no need to change, that's for sure.
He's on a good line. How's the speed? Speed's good, I think.
He'll need to hold a little longer, run a little longer.
Right, second. Yeah, polite applause from the skip, so... Right.
Gary on his forehand. He's been playing so well.
He's played some screamers. Yeah, he's on a pretty good line. His bowls do tend to turn a little bit more, but he's holding. He's got the weight to hold it.
Yeah, this never looked like missing.
Look at this.
Game on.
Wow, game on, all right. Here we go.
How aggressive are we going to be? A little bit. Yep, under that bowl.
Yep.
We've seen Tony call that aggression a couple of times in this game early on. Hands in the pockets.
Pretty relaxed. Niven, he's played this
close.
pretty well. Is he
he's going to get the gap.
Oh.
He's found the gap a couple of times this game.
I'm getting nervous and I'm not playing.
Yep, position now for the Newland team. I've got a couple for the extra end, which is good for now.
Well, what's he going to do here?
He wants to stay on, which...
Oh, no, he's played it well.
Yeah.
I thought he was tight.
Ooh.
But he had good weight. Yeah, good effort. Right.
Second chance for Niven. Wasn't too
5-2.
far away.
Yep. Stayed down a little bit this time. I think
Looks
he's going to
under.
go underneath. Does he hold for that second bowl?
Nope.
Oh, just narrowly misses. Oh, wow.
The women's final came down to the last few bowls from the skips. It was quite exciting. I have a feeling the same could happen here.
I agree.
We were so close to seeing an extra end happen for the woman.
He's out on a good line here, Keith. He's just looking to come past.
Yeah, he'll stay on.
He'll stay on all right.
Beautiful speed.
That's a great bowl.
Third
That's
shot
a
too.
really good bowl. Yeah, this is starting to get ugly for Mount Albert, you know.
We saw one end where Tony called for aggression and they didn't connect and they got into a bit of trouble. Only dropped a 1, of course, but it did get awkward.
Yeah, in hindsight, I guess you wonder whether they needed to be attacking with quite that weight, you know. So Randall Watkins slipping by here.
It's going to be a handy back bowl, though, I think.
Oh, Gary Doherty's shaking Tony Grantham's hand. I'm not sure I'll be shaking hands yet. There could be a lot more bowls to go in this game.
I prefer to shake hands at the conclusion of the game, I'll be honest. A lot of people do shake hands once they've finished their bowls.
I'm with you, Terry. I'm all for let's wait till the end of the game because a lot of things can change.
Yeah. And then, I don't know, you feel like you're missing something if you've already done it.
Well, that's an unusual bowl from Keith. That must have been a bit of a rush of blood to the head.
Yeah. That will need to get picked up out of the ditch at some point.
So Tony, I think, saying, look, we've only got to get second shot here. So, look, let's not get too carried away.
Yep.
Just,
possibly
run up.
learned from that end earlier.
Wide. Yep.
Well,
It'll turn, though. It will turn, and it's coming now.
Yeah, I think he'll be pretty happy with that one.
Yep.
Maybe.
Oh, fell out.
So they're probably still in the same position. Tony's going to have to play some magic here. Wow.
What a game. What a game. So what do you do here if you're Adam?
Well, the way I see it, they're holding the win. So they don't need to add any more shots onto the head. Well, Tony's going to be looking to
Yeah, I mean, Keith
move it, I think.
Yeah, Keith was saying to him draw short, but I don't think that's the right call.
No.
I think you want to be drawing to Keith's back bowl, trying to just beat that and give yourself. I think it's just too wide a target that you could drop short and block that shot on the backhand, but then all you're going to do is encourage him to play the shot on the forehand.
Yeah.
So my sense is, I'd be just drawing to try and get past it.
Yeah.
And if you can draw another shot past it, then that puts a bit more pressure on Tony.
Yeah, because if Tony would only clear out one of the bowls, you've got another one there.
100%.
Yeah, so that's cool. Obviously the jack's looking at going. It's not the way it's sitting. It's unlikely to kill. I think it could come out on an angle, but not so much so that it's going to be outside of the boundaries. So.
Right. Let's see what Adam's got in store for us. Yeah, he's out on that good line. Here it comes.
Yeah, it might be a
little bit quick.
Touch
A little bit
quick.
quick.
If he stays up though, that would help their situation.
A bit of a nothing bowl in the end.
Randall does have that back black though, and that's probably
He does.
where the jack's heading.
So my question is just, what sort of weight does Tony play with? Because yes, he could just draw up there and get second shot, and that wins him the game.
Yeah, and third shot, means you haven't lost the game. No, they're looking for movement. I think that's a good call. Yeah, you could easily miss a draw, couldn't you?
Well, I think all of the Newland bowls are on that side of the head. So any connection with any of those with any of those bowls potentially reduces your number. So let's see what Tony. Tony. Yep, he's having a bit of a think about it and thinking about his dad.
Yeah.
Just.
And
this is the bowl.
an intentional breath there.
He's playing with weight.
Yeah.
I think he played on the backhand. Yep.
Class. All the way was the call, but...
just did not bend. It
He
looked
was
online,
not far away at all.
just did not bend.
Randall said all the way. It did look pretty good. Now what?
That's another thing I'm always careful to try not to say. Sometimes you can't help yourself because it looks like it's on. But the vagaries of this game, nothing's a given. Right. So, Adam, out on the forehand.
Yep, straight into his work.
He'll be looking to try, I think, and draw another shot. And he's done neither.
Well,
He's played one of those completely in between bowls where,
I did think, had he rushed it a little bit, I wasn't sold
yep,
that he knew exactly what he was doing with that bowl.
I'm with you. I think, and these are the moments where you need to take your time. So,
It could potentially cost him. I feel like Tony's going to be very clear on what he needs to do.
yep.
And that could be the difference, but time will tell. Potentially the final bowl of this game.
Right, here we go.
He's interested. He's running after it.
He's tied it.
He's got
a
it.
result. He's got a result.
Oh, what's happened? 2. We may have an extra end.
My goodness.
I can see Keith's bowl, and I can see, is it Gary's or Bruce's?
Well,
That was my point about getting another one around the back, because then you've got a second scoring area. They had the head where the jack was.
what goes?
I
Extra end.
I saw Gary signal too.
Extra end.
What a
Wow.
bomb from Tony, though.
Bounced off that wing bowl. And we're extra end. Well, we're getting our money's worth, Terry.
Yep.
I don't know. I don't know how much you're getting paid by the hour, but no.
This helps. No, dare I say, had Adam given a little bit more thought to his bowl and drawn around that back, he would have had an extra opportunity that where the jack sat,
Yep.
a third shot.
I agree. Short was of no use to him. But anyway, he's they got an extra end.
Yep.
So Bruce is going to go over. Right. So I'm guessing that Newland have won the toss because they would want last bowl.
Yes.
Right.
The jack length probably hasn't played too much of a part in this game, would you think?
No, I think they're going short here. And I'm wrong.
We did just have a full length end, and it didn't suit Mount Albert.
Yeah.
So it is interesting. We are, of course, going in a different direction, but that's what I mean. I don't think either team have really played to a certain length.
Mm.
There hasn't been a lot of consistency there. So anyway,
Yeah, I thought they might have gone for a shorter end here, just to sort of break it up a bit. But maybe they feel like they're playing well enough on the long ends anyway.
and potentially without having last bowl, you might back a longer end. Probably not the start he was hoping for, but it has stayed on.
Yep, beautiful line, but obviously you're saying to yourself, don't be short, don't be short, don't be short, and and then you end up just playing a little bit over. And let's see what Bruce is close here.
On a good path. He's certainly
He's come
finishing
right.
how he
He's come
started.
right.
Needs to hang around.
Yep.
Let's run on a little bit. Good speed.
Right, here we go.
Gary all smiles in the background. It's a good way to be in an extra end of a final.
Yeah, and it's so hard, isn't it? Because you've got your hand in your heart in your mouth when Tony plays a bowl like that. And again, Zoran just a little bit over. Nothing wrong with that. Good position.
Yep.
But the danger is you start scrambling again. If Bruce puts one on the jack here, immediately you're scrambling.
Yep.
Right. And suddenly, the New Lynn guys just seem to have a bit of a spring in their step, But no, he's missed his line again. And so plenty of room. Right. Who gets to the jack first?
both of these guys, both Niven and Gary, have been drawing so well.
And you feel like it's been at 2 that the critical bowls have gone in most of the ends.
Yeah.
Where they've really drawn the dead draw shots.
This is pretty good.
And just right on cue. Thanks, Niven.
I was going to say, purely because Niven has first bowl before Gary,
Yep.
my money was on him. Purely because he was bowling first.
Yep. But yeah, it's their bowls that have tended to determine how the ends have played out.
Yep.
So Gary now on his forehand. Oh, little wince.
Yeah, they've had a great battle, that's for sure.
I don't know what he's wincing about. He might be a touch wide, but it's coming now.
I think it's a reflection of how well he's been going, that even a bowl that's actually in play and in a good spot, he's still not happy with because he knew.
That's right.
He's just got that fine feel for it.
Yep, so...
Niven with a second bowl now. Ideally, in an ideal world, he'd just slip behind his first one.
Here we go again. Right. Close here again.
Yep. Another shot here. Run on a touch more, Tony's probably
Good
thinking.
bowls. Good bowls. Not ideally where you wanted it. You would have preferred them behind, but,
You'll take it, won't you?
absolutely at this stage of the game. Now, what does Gary do?
Yeah, Mount Albert didn't have that luxury in the last end.
Oh, no, I think he's gone underneath. He sort of walked a little bit as he delivered it.
He needed to do his reset. He's
Yep.
done that twice and nailed the jack.
Yep,
He has to hop on a mat a second time.
he does.
That's his...
He'll be frustrated with that because he has played so well in this game. But, it might be the turn for Keith. Oh, look, another false start. Might be Keith's turn to draw one of those magnificent bowls of his. Anyway, right now it's Randall Watkins. What can he do?
The first bit looked good.
Yep.
Got a few people riding this one.
They're all interested. He's tight.
It might change something.
It's holding.
Flop outwards. No,
Well-
no sit, but the holding 3. Not that it matters. They only
Yep.
need 1.
Yep, and they're all a little bit closer than they were before. So that's not a bad thing if it comes down to fine margins. But now,
Zoran, of course, has the 2 backest bowls, doesn't he? Although we do see some good position from both Gary and Bruce.
he does. So Keith out on his forehand.
Oh, he looks
He's
tight.
tight.
He's
Yep.
probably been getting more turn than
Yep.
other bowls, so
Does he hold
certainly.
for that bowl? Well,
his speed probably wasn't too far off the pace.
no, I think he had good speed, but he's just missed his line a little bit. Right, Randall. If you ever wanted to draw a toucher, now would be a good time. Yeah, well, he's gone out a little bit this time.
He might wind up in a good home as long as he gets a clean run.
Yep.
Breaks up those bowls a little bit. We've seen Keith be a good 4 down before and draw a back toucher.
Yeah, he's taking his time this time, just getting himself set, straighten up the beanie. Right, what do we got?
Needed a wider line than his first bowl.
Yeah, well,
He's
I
got
like
it.
his line. I like the line. Here it comes.
He might need to grab the jack though.
Oh,
he's past
he's gonna
it.
slide by. Wow, well, he got an applause from Adam. I'm not quite sure really that was what they were looking to do, but I guess, you're in that stage of the game. You don't want to be short, and so...
Almost got away with that speed if he collected the jack.
Right. So, TG to draw a shot.
Yeah, beat Adam to it.
So it's a game of 2 bowl singles. Advantages with Mount Albert for sure, but both of these guys are well and truly capable of working within these margins. I like the line.
Yeah, I know he tapped his foot, but I reckon the speed's going to be good. It has slowed down a bit out there, I think. And it is. That's a good shot. Still hasn't changed Adam's shot at all.
Yeah, I think the question for me will be, well, does Adam just try and draw, or does he get tempted to play with a bit of weight, knowing he's got some catches? I think he's playing with a little bit of weight. And he's close. Just don't know if he's going to turn. It's coming now. It's coming now.
Is the jack going to come out? Oh,
Yeah.
wow.
Unbelievable.
What a shot
What
from
a
Adam.
shot.
Well,
I,
TG finds himself in the same spot he was last end. Match down, one bowl in hand.
He's got the back bowl, so he does have an option of drawing or playing with weight.
There's not much of a target there, though.
Nick Dragicevic is out of his chair. The crowd have gone deathly silent. Tony Grantham, can you pull this game out of the hat?
First bit's good.
First bit's real good. He's on a great line here. Here it comes. Here it comes. Is he there?
Needs to hurry.
Is he there? He's not there, and the game is Newlands.
Oh.
Poor Tony. Yeah, the disappointment is palpable, and we all know why.
Yes,
But
there was a lot riding on that for the Mount Albert side, particularly Tony Grantham.
But it is Newland who win this Champion of Champion men's fours final. Adam Wisnowski, Keith Ansell, Gary Doherty and Bruce Walters in the most dramatic of fashion, beating Tony Grantham, Randall Watkins, Niven Grigicevic and Zoran Bartulovic on an extra end. Mixed emotions, I'm sure, for everybody. So many people wanting Tony to win, to, I guess, commemorate the passing of his father, John Grantham, during the week. And that was certainly, a massive motivation for Tony and his team. But let's not take anything away from a very, very good Newland performance. They led the game. They saw that lead be eroded and trailed by two playing the last end. Dramatically got two, with the jack bouncing around. They lay game. The jack bounced around, found themselves two down, extra end. And in the extra end, when all looked like it might be lost, Adam Wisnowski just played a bomb, an absolute bomb. Terry, what do you say? What have you got left?
Oh, another game that had it all, didn't it? Just when you think the Newland team were in control, Mount Albert stepped up, and same when the Mount Albert team looked in control, the momentum changed again. So a really hard-fought win by the Newland side. Congratulations to the four players there, and all the best for their National Champion of Champion efforts.
Absolutely right. Yeah, that's important to remember that Aggie Motu's Bridge Park team, they'll be off to the New Zealand Champion of Champions final. If they keep up that form, they'll be hard to beat, and so will Adam Wisnowski. Of course, all of our thoughts are with Tony and the tough time that he's had. But congratulations to Newland. A club that's been going through some dramas of their own, and so this will be a big morale booster for Newland and for their membership, and we'll celebrate their success with them and wish them well in the New Zealand Champion of Champions final. On behalf of Bowls Auckland and our sponsors of this coverage, Blue Waters Community Trust, Jardin, Hunter Bowles and Mole Check. It's been Brett O'Reilly with my excellent co-host Terry Blackburn, Blackjack and World Champion, signing off from here at the Palace at Royal Oak Bowling Club. Thank you to our broadcasting team for their excellent work today, and we'll see you all again on the Bowls Auckland channel.